Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I think we got it fixed. Welcome back to the live stream. I do want to apologize for what happened with the guy alive. I don't know what happened, but what it seems like when I record on anything else other than vlog on YouTube, this happens. Where I get a bad network connection, especially on my phone. I don't know why, but when I do it on here, it works. Sorry about my bad hair, by the way. Really having a bad hair day. It's been a crazy day. Okay, at work we had a Christmas party for a bunch of the kids that were there, and yeah, it was a little crazy. But that day is over, and tomorrow I'm going Christmas caroling. Not the biggest fan about going out in the cold and singing, but I'm gonna do it for the spirit of the season. But anyway, I hope you're all having an excellent um, day. Today is Tuesday. Hope you're all having an excellent Tuesday. And as you guys can see, I got my cotton-headed Ninny Muggin shirt on because we had our Christmas party and I decided what better shirt. And all the parents were just like, "Oh, cotton-headed Ninny Muggins, I love that." I'm like, yeah. I'm like, this is one of my favorite shirts to wear around Christmas time. But anyway, welcome to the NFL Week 15, Week 16 preview, Week 15 review live stream. How you guys doing? A lot of stuff happened this week, but I want to also talk about Aquaman comes out this weekend. I'm super excited about Aquaman. I definitely want to go see this movie. A lot of people are saying that this is the DC's DCEU's greatest movie. Hey, yeah, hey, Davey, how's it going? It's Pikachu. It's Clefairy. No. How's it going, Davey? Thanks for jumping from the bad connection I had in my other live stream. But here we are back with this. I hope the connection here is fine. It should be. But yeah, Aquaman comes out this weekend. I'm super excited about that. Even like a lot of I said about going to go see it, and my one brother's wife goes, "Oh, we're going to go see it." Because they love Jason Momoa because I guess he's so, I guess they said because he's good looking. But all I know is I only remember him from Game of Thrones, um, him sleeping with the Queen of Dragons. If you guys have never watched the Game of Thrones, if you guys have, you know what I'm talking about. Um, but yeah, I'm excited for Aquaman. I want to see that. Bumblebee comes out the same weekend. Um, I I'm pretty hyped about that because it's Gen 1. Like we're gonna see a Gen 1 live action Bumblebee. We're gonna see a Gen 1 Optimus, even Megatron. I got hopes we'll see a Gen 1 Megatron too, and that's my hopes because this. I'm thinking we will. I'm crossing my fingers. But what movie are you guys excited about coming out and for the rest of the year? Um, they are bad for your pockets. They are, Davey. Because then that Sherlock Holmes and Watson movie comes out, which is basically Step Brothers and Sherlock Holmes outfits. And I'm super excited about that movie too. So it's gonna be just wait till next summer. You think it's bad now? Just wait till next summer. It's gonna be nuts with Infinity War and so many other good movies. Flashpoint supposedly coming out this summer, so I don't know. And some other movies too. So I'm super excited for what they're planning. And then that crappy Sonic movie, whatever they're doing with that, I don't know. But let's jump into the week 15. That's what I came here to do, and I need to discuss it because I am super excited, guys. The Bears clinched the NFC North title last night, or not last night, on Sunday, and I've been smiling ear to ear every day since. Every time I say it, it feels so good to say that they've won their division. They are NFC North champs. They haven't won since 2012. So a whole 6 year like not being in the playoffs, and they're finally going back. And not that, but they're gonna host a playoff game in Soldier Field, which hasn't happened in forever. and it's finally happening. I'm super excited to see where this team can go, and people are saying this team could win a Super Bowl, which I'm kind of shocked about. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I think they can beat any team in the NFC, but I don't. I mean, no one can beat the Saints. I mean, only one team has been able to do that. So, and that was the Cowboys. But yeah, here's hoping. Well, yeah, I'm hoping that they can win the Super Bowl, but the AFC's too stacked this year. The Patriots, they can go screw themselves, but the Steelers, Saints, or not Saints, Steelers, Chargers, even the Ravens, I'm not counting them out. Texans, they're okay, but the Chiefs, they're unstoppable right now. Unless you have a team that can stop their offense, they're done. But anyway, jumping into the not the team recap, the Week 15 recap. It all started off on Thursday night, where the Chiefs lost to the Chargers in a absolute thriller. I didn't get to watch it all because I was out with my ex boo, and we went shopping, and we went to dinner, and I didn't get to see it, but I watched the highlights of it, and I didn't give the Chargers chance to come back when they were down 14 points with 6 minutes left. But they scored 14 points, and then I'm like, okay, they scored the second touchdown, and I thought, okay, they're just gonna tie it up. No. Anthony Lynn went right in, and he said, no, we going for two, boy. And he went right in, and they scored it, shocked the world in Kansas City, and beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And now Chiefs and Chargers are the Chiefs only have a half game lead in that division, and I still said this from the beginning. The Chiefs are going to lose one more game, and the Chargers are going to be the one that's the one seed, not the Chiefs. Mark my words, because this Charger team, unless Keenan Allen's hurt and that Keenan Allen injury is bad, if it is, there could be a problem in LA. But Melvin Gordon's coming back for them, so they're going to be kind of a win-win. I mean, if they lose Keenan Allen for a significant amount of time, yes, they'll lose him, but they'll still get Melvin Gordon, their best player, back. Which, don't tell me that he's not, because he is. Because in fantasy, he's gold. Okay? I know, because if I would have had him, I probably would have won my fantasy football matchup this week. And hey, in other news, your boy is going for 3-time champion in one league and 2-time champions in another in fantasy football. And one for money and then one not for money. Actually, no. Yeah, 3 times in one, 2 times in another, and then my first time ever. I've been second. I've been in second a lot of years when we did this one league, and my friend Clint's for money, and you're like Booker T. No, if I'm like Booker T, I'm gonna be. If I'm like Booker T, I'm gonna be like, we're coming for you. If you guys don't know, watch the old Harlem Heat promo where he accidentally says a bad word when they did it, and he's just like goes down like that. If you guys, it's very heavily mean. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you guys will know. But that's a great promo. He goes, "We're getting the gold, and after we get the gold, we coming for you, Hulk Hogan. We coming for you." And he says an expletive I won't say on here ever, or won't ever say because I'm not a bigot or a racist. And I would like not my channel to be deleted anytime soon either. Anyway, but dang it, I don't even remember what I was talking about. Dang it, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, yeah, fantasy football. Yeah, but the matchups I wanted. I'm in this one with my church family, and just members of my family and stuff. And this year I didn't think I was going to, because I had to make some trades. My team wasn't the greatest. My best 2 players was McCaffrey and Ezekiel Elliott, for those of you that don't know who Zeke is. And those two have led me. Now, here's a storyline for you. If you want to paint a picture, okay, I was down big time. It was 116 to 56, and I needed a good point total for my quarterback because in my league that I create every year, quarterbacks are your breadwinners. Quarterbacks are the ones that are going to give you a lot of points. A normal day for a quarterback, if they score decently, is like 25, 30 points. So I was like, okay, I need at least 30. Goff goes out for me and puts up 40, which got me right around where I needed to. And after the Sunday night game, I was 24 points down with McCaffrey on last night and Ian Thomas, the tight end. And they gave me exactly what I needed. Christian McCaffrey gave me 35 points to get me past my brother. And I'm in the finals against my dad. And I'll have to show it to you later. But I got a belt. I got a championship belt. It's a WWE tag team belt. I bought it because when Toys R Us was going out of business. Team Bad Brand. Actually, I named my team Carry On My Wayward Son. You know the song Carry On My Wayward Son? Because there's a player named Carry On Johnson. And I call him Carry On My Wayward Son. You'll be my tag partner. What would we call ourselves? The Dark Crusaders. Ooh, that's a good name, the Dark Crusaders. Enzo and Cass. My name. You've seen this before, but I'm gonna do it again. You see this? I'm packaging up a different way. But I think that oh, you know what? I got to talk about WWE TLC too, and Royal Rumble coming up. But I'll talk about that later. But yeah, and then in my other league that I do for money, every year I put in $20. We all sit down and we draft offline. It's such a fun experience. If you guys have never done it, I guarantee do it once. It's a great time with friends. It is a great time to just sit down, do some, and then afterwards you get in the app. I only watched the Dean Ambrose match. I watched a couple in the beginning. I didn't watch the final match where Asuka won the title. It's good for her though. Asuka needed to win that title. She did. They've been burying her for a long time, and it's about time. And well, since she lost that match to Charlotte last WrestleMania, so it's good that she'll have it. She'll probably lose it WrestleMania time, but to Charlotte again, or not Charlotte. Probably whoever gets shipped over to Raw, or whoever comes over in the SmackDown, but. I do want to say, I'll talk about that later though. I do got to say though, in the finals of my One for Money, and we got this big trophy too that my friends created. I'm facing my boy Clint, and that's who I wanted to face. I said, Clint, I need you to beat the person you're playing. He struggled with them all season. He won by 2 points. And he's in the finale. He's in the final against me. And I'm telling you right now, this is what I wanted. I wanted this to be a dogfight. It's a win-win, really, for me, because if I lose, I get $60. If I win, I get $100. So really, I win either way. So I'm not really worried about my lineup. Questions of what I'm going to do. But it's going to be a brawl-out, brutal dogfighting. That's what I wanted against Clint. That's what I wanted. And we can trash talk each other and just have a good time and not have to worry about... me and him have been trash talking back and forth with gifts. He does the Shang Tsung one, Your Soul Is Mine. And I send him this one back with Goldberg saying, You're next! Or I'll send one with Vegeta and say, I will destroy you! But I do gotta say, I'm excited for this weekend. I really am. But I want to get back into what I was talking about with the Week 15 review. We talked about the Chargers and Chiefs, but I also want to talk about some of the Saturday games because they were kind of big. The Texans beat the Jets. Nothing really happened there. Texans locked up the Did they lock up? They didn't lock up their division, but they locked up a playoff berth. And with the Patriots losing earlier, which I'll talk about later, should have sent him an Enzo meme saying you're a sloppy jalopy. I should have. I should have said salt doesn't always taste like sugar. But I I do think that you gave me a good idea, by the way, Davey. Thank you for that. But the Texans, I think they're a team that I don't know. They won the 9 straight, and then after this, now they lost that game to the Colts, and now they're kind of So I don't know. They go either way for me. They do face Philly next week, so we'll see if they bounce back and lock up their division, which they should. I think they should. Now, then in the last Saturday game, it was the Broncos and the Browns, and it was a big game. It was a really, really good game. And basically, the loser of that game was knocked out of the playoffs. And the Brownies, the Cleveland Browns, who sucked for so long, but then they drafted Baker Mayfield. And this guy has led them from a not even could win a game last season. They've won 6 games, and they could possibly end the season 8-7-1 and possibly getting in the playoffs. Mind blown. Like, they need a lot of help, but I don't. They're going to be an interesting team moving forward, especially if they keep playing. I think, honestly, I can see them winning the AFC North in probably 2 to 3 years, I'm thinking, just because of how good that team has played this season. And if they add more pieces, I can see it happening. I really can. If they get the right head coach. But I'm kind of sad the Broncos got knocked out of the playoffs. You guys know in previous weeks I was talking mad game on the Broncos saying that they deserve a playoff berth, and this team looks like and then Emmanuel Sanders goes down, and Case Keenum's Case Keenum, and yeah, and then that happened, and then Chris Harris got hurt, and that kind of their best defender other than Von Miller. They're basically done after that. But then we go into the Sunday games. And the Sunday games, boy, did they have some big time implications because, I'm telling you what, we had teams that clinched divisions like my Bears, which I'm going to talk about first. My Chicago Bears. So long I've been waiting to and it's it's the team we beat that we won the division. We played the Packers, which I was nervous. I'm like, there's no way they're locking up the division today. We'll do it next week against San Francisco. There's no way they're going to do it against against the Packers. Not a chance. It's Aaron Rodgers. I've learned a long time with Aaron Rodgers. You be careful with him because he can break your dreams and break your team's hopes real quick. But not today. No, not today. The Bears came to play. The defense was lights out. The Mac was on fire. Mitchell Trubisky didn't turn the football over like crazy like he did against the Rams last week. And Jordan Pig Howard came through in the biggest game. He finally, honestly, if Jordan Howard's back, we could be an unstoppable team into the playoffs because Cohen catching the ball, running the ball, and having those amazing moves that he does in the backfield, and then Jordan Howard pounding you and hitting you in the mouth, we're done. If we can get those wide receivers working together and all the offense working together and our defense playing the way it is, I understand why the experts are saying we could win a Super Bowl because this team is for real. But after they've beaten all these teams, the Rams and the Packers back to back, they can beat anybody. They can. And but I'm just trying to keep an humble attitude, not get too cocky, because when I get too cocky, crap happens, okay? Then they lose and they get knocked out in the playoffs first week. And that's not going to happen this year. Um, I gotta say, this team at the beginning of the season, I didn't think the Bears, I'd be talking about them as division champs because of all the talent the other teams around them added and just where they were at. Then a week of saddening depression. Well, and honestly, I do think at the beginning of the season, I didn't know. But then that first game happened, and we had a great first half, and then Aaron Rodgers broke our hearts with happy drugs fueled in him, and won the game. And then I'm like, oh god, this is gonna be a long, heartbreaking season. But they turned it around, and this team just looks amazing, and I can't wait to see what happens in the playoffs because I think we can win several games. I'm okay if we just win one game, playoff game, because then it says we're here to compete for years to come. But we'll see what happens. Next, we had the Colts and the Cowboys. Cowboys shot up a big, humongous, fat goose egg against the Colts. Colts destroyed them 23-0. I gotta say, the Cowboys they fought to beat them for the first drive, and then after that it was like they weren't even playing because they were hoping that the other teams would lose in their division so they could lock up a playoff berth and lock up their division. You can't play like that. And honestly, Cowboys, you play like this going forward, you can't beat Indy. I mean, I know they're decent, but it's not like Andrew Luck threw all over your defense. He didn't even throw a touchdown. Marlon Mack beat you. A washed up running back who has lost his job left and right all season to Jordan Wilkins, and a rookie and an undrafted free agent rookie. What? Come on, Dallas. Come on. What are you thinking? Like, and they were going for it way too much on fourth down, which kind of like that's what they did. Marlon Big Mac. Yeah, he was a Big Mac in that game because he scored 2 touchdowns and ran for over 127 yards. Big Mac indeed, Davey, because what a game for him. Now, I will say, too, they went for way too much, as I said. It's like they were kind of playing like they did against the Eagles. Actually, I could go for a Big Mac right now. I mean, I could too. I actually we had Happy Meals for our party today, for the kids, and I got a hamburger. And then I'm like, well, this isn't enough, so we get like two. Each of us get like 2 meals, so it ain't equivalent to 1 meal basically. But anyway, back to what I was saying. But yeah, I mean the Cowboys will lock up the division next week against Bucks, but the Cowboys need to get it together because if they don't, they're going to be one and done because it looks like they're going to have to play either the Vikings or the Seahawks or the Redskins, because the Redskins for some reason are still alive with the 4th string quarterback, which I want to talk about that. 4th string quarterback, Josh Johnson, picked up off the field and has played for maybe 12 different teams in his career, and they beat the Jacksonville Jaguars because the Jags just suck this year. The Jags have just sucked. That's how, I think, honestly, the Redskins have gotten lucky, and they're going to lose this Saturday coming up against the Titans. And if they beat them, my God, we could be talking about the Redskins of all people getting in the 6th seed. And if they do, yes, that's an easy win for the Bears. I can't believe I'm looking forward to the Bears facing the Redskins. I guess as a fan, I just want an easy win. My predictions have been on point lately. You are correct, Davey, which is weird. I am going to predict, though, the Bears are going to go to the Super Bowl. I'm going to make that fact right now. But anyway, Hopefully that prediction comes true. If it does, we'll look back to this day when I did this live and we'll say, hey, remember that one time when Brandon said he was, Bears are going to the Super Bowl? And they did. Yeah, I know. The way my predictions have gone, though, I gotta trust it. So who are you predicting will win the race? Well, NASCAR or the Nuzlocke race? I don't know, to be honest. You. Me. Both. I don't even watch NASCAR anymore. um. Anyway, back to the NFL review. Anyway, but I mean, I don't. What was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, the Redskins. Whatever. Titans won. Titans beat the Giants. I think 17-0, or was it 17-10? I think it was 17-10. No, it was 17-0. Yeah, it was 17-0. And I'll be honest, this Titans team, if they can get in, they're dangerous. But the team that is in front of them, the Ravens, gonna have a rough time because I watched that game on Sunday, and Lamar Jackson, Joe Flacco, by the way, he announced before the game that as soon as the season's over, he will not be returning to the Ravens organization. He will no longer be on the Ravens team anymore, which is sad because, he's won a Super Bowl for this team. He deserved, and he got beat out by this electric rookie, but that's the NFL nowadays. You play the hot hand. And Joe Flacco will get a starting job somewhere in the NFL. I know he will. But anyway, as I was saying about the Titans won, the Ravens. Yes, I was watching that game and I'm just like, how does this kid, Lamar Jackson, get out of some of the tackles that he's getting in? Because there was maybe 3-4 times the Buccaneers had him for a sack, and he got out of it and ran for 10 yards for a first down. Every time, I'm just like, this kid is mystifying with the ball in his hand, and you understand why this kid won a Heisman. Because just the way he can run, the way he throws the ball, and the Ravens' running attack is dangerous. The way they're running the ball right now, if you can't stop them, Lamar Jackson running for 100 yards, throwing for over 200, and Gus Edwards, their new star running back, running for 100 every week, you're going to lose. Because if you can't stop that running attack, you're going to get pummeled because the Ravens defense is playing lights out ball as well right now. Then also another game I wanted to talk about. The Dolphins played the Vikings. The Vikings pummeled the Dolphins, which this Dolphins team, as I said last week, we're going to find out that this team is not as good on paper as you think they are, or not as good as you think they are. And they're not a playoff team, and you're going to find that out this week, which I said that, and we found that out. And yes, the Dolphins are still alive in the playoff picture, but it's over. They're 7-7. They need help now to get in, especially with the Titans above them and the Colts. But it's going to be interesting the last 2 weeks because the Ravens played the Chargers this weekend on Saturday. They lose. We could be talking about the Colts or Titans getting in at the 6th seed and changing everything up. And I kind of want it to be the Titans because the Patriots lost. And that's the next game I want to talk about. The Patriots and the Steelers. That was a heck of a game indeed. And also in other news, Seahawks lost to the San Francisco 49ers. But it was by a fluke field goal and all that. But they're still in the playoff race. They locked up a play. They're in the playoffs and all that, so we're not going to worry about that. Now, back to the Steelers and Patriots game. It was a heck of a game. I'll be honest. Steelers went up 14-0. Then the Patriots, of course, Tom Brady brought them right back. Scored the touchdown, brought them closer to 10-14. Then the Steelers got a field goal, making it 17-10. And that last drive, when Tom Brady was driving the Patriots down, I got a little nervous because, and I'm not even a Steelers fan, okay? I got a little nervous because I thought that, you know, probably what was going to happen was typical Tom Brady. They were going to move down the field and score. And they had that one play where the ball was stripped out of the one player's hand, the whistle didn't blow, and the Steelers got it, and they challenged it. The Steelers challenged it because the ref said that, that it wasn't a fumble, so they challenged it, and they said they couldn't challenge it. I immediately said, no, here we go again. The cheaters are going to cheat their way to another victory because of a blown challenge by the refs. And no, it didn't. Brady missed they got to the 10-yard line or something, and they missed over and over again in the end zone, overthrew his receivers. That one pick he threw to Joe Hayden near the end was because he even said after the game, I wanted to throw it out of bounds, but I just didn't have the arm strength to throw it out. That tells me he's done after this season. He is going to retire. Why would you think that? Tell me, Brandon, why would you think that? Well, here's what I'm thinking. This is not your typical old Cowboys, typical old Patriot team that you're used to seeing. Josh Gordon, the guy they picked up that everyone was raving when they picked him up, said he was going to revitalize his career like Randy Moss did. He's done nothing since he's come there. He has not even performed. And I said that from the beginning. He's just another washed-up receiver that they picked up. And they've ran the reason why they're 9-4, right, or 9-5, is because their running game and Tom Brady being Tom Brady. That's it. And because they play in the worst division in all of football. That's pretty much it. That's the only reason why the Patriots are at where they're at. That's it. The Dolphins suck. The Bills suck. The Jets suck. There's 6 wins right there. Who do they play for the rest of the season? Bills and Jets. Those are the last 2 games, folks. Bills, Jets. Sorry, I didn't mean to flip everybody off. Bills, Jets. And that tells me they're going to get in the playoffs. It's definitely going to happen. But this team is not the same Patriots team. Brady admitted it himself. He doesn't have the arm strength to throw it out of bounds on a play like that. That tells me he's losing his arm strength. He's 40, 41, 42, I think now. He's losing his arm strength. He can't complete the receivers. He's overthrowing them, or he's underthrowing them. This is the same thing Peyton Manning did his last year, guys. The same thing Peyton Manning did when he turned 40. Getting old, man. That's true. That is true, Davey. This is the same thing Peyton Manning did. His last year with the Broncos that he was with them, he threw a lot of picks. That's what Brady's done this year. He's thrown more than he usually does. He's overthrown a lot of receivers. That's what Brady has done this year. And he doesn't have the arm strength to throw it as far as he used to when he was younger. That's what Brady's done. And even he admitted it. Peyton Manning admitted it when he was in his last season. I don't have the arm strength to throw it. So what they did was they brought Brock Osweiler in to throw the deep passes. And that's why later in the season they sat him, benched him for Brock Osweiler until the end of the season. And then the playoff run, they put Manning back in. And honestly, I think it is time to think about a Patriot team without Tom Brady and Gronk in it because Gronk looks terrible too. He's having his worst season of his career, and he should have retired last season because he strongly thought about it last season. He should have retired because his body looks like a decrepit old man trying to walk with a walker down the field. It is pathetic. He is not the Gronk of old anymore. Their best receiver is a washed up first round pick and an undrafted free agent in Julian Edelman, who is 35. And the other reason why they lost, too, their wide receivers drop a lot of passes. And that's why they run the ball so much, is because their wide receivers just drop passes left and right. And any day, any team, your wide receivers drop passes and you're not able to move the ball down the field in passing, team's gonna become really one directional real quick. But they'll shy away from the pass late in games. And I will say this though, Steelers, so technically Bears for the Super Bowl. Yes. Sign it up now. But the Steelers, they needed this win. They did. Because next week, they go to New Orleans to face the Saints. And if you guys don't know, playing in New Orleans and winning in New Orleans is almost impossible. It is literally impossible because that stadium is rocking every time there's a home game there. And there's a reason why the Saints are almost nearly undefeated every season in that dome. You don't win in that dome. Unless you win in miraculous fashion like the Vikings did last playoffs, but we're not going to talk about that. Then the Sunday night game happened. The Rams and Eagles, in a must-win game for the team, this Eagles, the team, the Super Bowl champs, Eagles, with no Wentz, again, has a fractured vertebrae in his back. He got ruled out. So Nick Foles is back, the guy who led them to the Super Bowl hero, and he has come back literally right on cue again, right on schedule again, because for the playoff run. And they beat the Rams. The Eagles beat the Rams. And here we're talking about, can this happen again? Can the Foles miracle happen again? Can he lead them to another deep playoff run? I don't know. I can't not trust Foles after what he did last season, but it all depends on when Wentz comes back. But I say keep riding Foles because this guy has been excellent. Well, this guy, he's much better than what Wentz has been this season. So keep rolling with Wentz until he starts sucking. That's what I would do. Ride the hot hand. Yeah, I didn't watch too much of it because I was watching TLC. Which congratulations to my boy Dean Ambrose winning the IC title. Really excited about that. And some changes are going on in the WWE universe. I'll be honest. When I heard the names that are coming, I knew Lars Sullivan was coming to the WWE. But there's some guys they brought up way too early where the Velveteen Dream should have got brought up. And he isn't coming up. And he's been ready for a while. Aleister Black isn't coming up. Gargano isn't coming up. Ciampa isn't coming up. Which makes sense. Ciampa's the title holder. But and they don't want to take all their stars in one take. The guys they announced they took, basically their tag team division. Well, basically their best tag team in Heavy Machinery, which those guys are intimidating and would not want to meet them in a dark alley. Lars Sullivan, who's coming, which would be a really good, another big body they haven't had. Then really Braun Strowman's the only really big body presence they have that's still active. Kane and all them, they're not really active anymore. And And then Nikki Cross coming over, and then we got some head scratchers. Lacey Evans, who is gonna get? I'm sorry, Lacey Evans is going to get buried. Is going to get buried real quick unless they just give her a title. I don't know what they're going to do to her, but she got buried in NXT. I don't think they're going to do anything. Yeah, Braun Strowman is in Holmes and Watson because I watched this trailer and me and Clint are watching and we're like, is that Braun Strowman? And he's in it, which I can't wait for that just basically because Braun Strowman is in it. I want to know how big of a part he has in it. Probably not a big one, but hey, he's in a movie. But anyway, then the biggest reveal came. EC3, who they go, I mean, I understand he was on Impact Wrestling, so he'd be used to the big screen or the big stage. But why? He just got on NXT like last year. Probably just giving someone his hands. Hey, do you need a hand? That would be hilarious. I didn't understand EC3. I mean, there's so much better. You could have bought Velveteen Dream up instead of EC3. But I'm okay with EC3 coming up. I'm okay with that because he's going to be a really good wrestler up on Raw or SmackDown, wherever they put him. I don't know if all of them coming to Raw? No, because Nikki Cross is already on SmackDown. She already debuted on SmackDown. So I think she'll be SmackDown. Don't you mean Derek Bateman? And I'll be honest. I think Lars Sullivan is going to go to SmackDown. Heavy Machinery. Well, you know what? Heavy Machinery may go to SmackDown because they don't have a lot of good. I mean, they have the same three: the Bar, the New Day, and the Usos, and they have won titles left and right, all three of them. And other than that, all their other tag teams are kind of trash, to be honest. So, like the Colognes, they need to go. But Heavy Machinery would make sense in SmackDown. EC3, he's Raw. Put him on Raw. Make him compete for, a title. Because they're going to split them. I really think they're going to split them apart. Lacey Evans is probably going to go to Raw. Nikki Cross is going to go to SmackDown. Because it makes sense to put her with Sanity. Or not put her with Sanity at all. I don't know what they're going to plan on doing, but Vince McMahon coming out and them saying that the Authority's now a face? What? The Authority's always been known as a heel, and now they're not? Like, wow. I'm actually gonna like the Authority. Dude, they keep changing their name to try and sound appealing to people, and they're not. They're just not. People want them to go away like a bad habit. Or the cold. Or the common cold. They want it to go away like common cold. Or winter. But anyway, but yeah, I'll be honest. Or even bringing up, I mean, I know Aleister Black and him have a steel cage match set up. But they stick around like a bad smell. Yep. Ain't that the truth? I mean, I understand. I really wanted to see Aleister Black move up. But and that's why I don't understand they're bringing all these people up now. They don't have anything for some of the people they have on the roster. They brought up Sanity. They don't rarely have anything for Sanity now. Nothing for Sanity. They have nothing for even Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt's not even injured, and Bray Wyatt is one of their best talents, and they have nothing for him to do. Nothing. And I just don't know. He's probably their best, like if you want to create a rivalry with someone, he's your best one. He's your best person. Bray Wyatt is your best person. If you want to create a rivalry, and do a start up a rivalry with somebody, and they're not even using them. And this is what they're doing. They're burying all these wrestlers, and they don't use any of this talent. Now, I think when they go over to Fox and they make the show longer, like they said they're going to, next year, that was my favorite tag team, by the way, for a good year and a half, the Deleter Worlds. I don't think, but I'll be honest. They could have did it differently. Some of them. But I'm glad they're bringing up these people. I'm glad, but I just think it's too early. But I think it's just them to put them in the spotlight. They're gonna put them in the Royal Rumble. They're gonna put them in title matches, different stuff like that, just to build up the hype for Royal Rumble. But like Todd Dillinger, he was so popular in NXT. They brought him up, and he has done nothing. He has gotten buried because all this talent they have for all these people, and they don't have anything for them, or they just get buried. And that's pathetic. That is pathetic because all this good talent, and it makes me sad a little bit. It does. But yeah, I will say too, transitioning from this into back to my NFL talk. Next week is going to be real interesting in the NFL. Because yes, we do have Ravens Chargers. Yeah, again though, I don't think they'll make Ty Dillinger number 10 again. I mean, they've done it how many times? They've done it 3 years? I mean, I don't think that's such a good idea. But, well, we know who number 30 is going to be. I mean, number 30, because they won that mixed match challenge, which makes sense. I would like to see Carmella get win it. I think Carmella will win it and get another chance at a title. Yeah, R-Truth being number 30, it's some kind of joke, right? It's just a joke. Either that or watch. He'll forget. What's going to happen is, and I guarantee it, he's going to, because R-Truth is a joke character, he's going to forget that he was number 30. Yeah, last year he did bring in the ladder. I guarantee he's going to forget he was number 30, and someone else is going to come in at number 30. And because he forgot. So I still say that we're going to see a surprise or two at this Royal Rumble. And I want you guys to think and just put some suggestions. Who do you think we're going to get as entrants in the male and female Royal Rumble? I'm glad that there's 2 Royal Rumbles this year. Or like every year. Since they did the Women's Royal Rumble, I was so happy for it because we get 2 Royal Rumbles instead of just 1. So, I'll be honest. I think in the Women's Royal Rumble, male needs to be Chris Jericho. For sure. But he's going to probably be busy with NJWP in the Japan Pro Wrestling. But I think he was there last year. Yeah, he was there last year in it, and he hid for half the match and then got in, and he was one of the last ones. Maybe Cody Rhodes. I mean, again, another Japan wrestler. I don't know if they'll just throw them in because they have contract obligations to Japan, and they won't let them on WWE. I don't know if they'll do that, but they let Chris Jericho. So, I don't know. Because Jericho has a contract with them. So, and I'll be honest too. Last year, they had a lot of guys that were separate members from tag teams because all they had available was a bunch of tag teams to put in. I'll be honest. I think this year we're going to get a lot of singles competitors. We're not going to get a lot of tag teams because we're going to have, I'll be honest, probably all these new people that came up, Santino Marella, I can see him coming back for that match, for the Royal Rumble, and then get knocked out. Because we do get some surprise ones. We got the Hurricane, I think. Was that the Greatest Royal Rumble? I think it was the Greatest Royal Rumble. We got the Hurricane. But for the... it's for the female. Oh, I have him in the female. I do think we're gonna get. I guarantee John Cena will come back for the Royal Rumble. Because it's Cena, but I think we're gonna get The Rock. I guarantee R-Truth is gonna forget number 30 is The Rock. It would make sense considering he's been saying about coming back. He has a movie. Is it out right now or did it already come out? That he directed, and he's been spotted at different places with the WWE recently, and I honestly think he still needs to do one more match for a farewell match at WrestleMania. It would make sense. Main event, boom, see ya. Or John Cena. Will he I bet he could win it and then main event and he could retire. So, I don't know. But I honestly think like some male competitors, Bray Wyatt's going to be in it. Even the Bludgeon Brothers, where have they been? That's another team. Probably all the members of Sanity would make sense. Or two. Who else do I think? Probably all the members that they brought up. I see EC3 coming in at number 3. That would make sense. That would be hilarious, actually. EC3 coming in at number 3. Standing back there is a Hamburglar coming through. Oh, Lord. Number 3 is probably going to be EC3. That's a given. Number 1. Who was always... Daniel Bryan was number 1 last year. I don't remember that rivalry, no. Who else do I think could get in this year? I think, honestly, as a surprise, we did get a couple NXT wrestlers last year. That from NXT, like we got Andrade and he wasn't up yet. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember Andrade wasn't up that year yet. He didn't come up yet until after WrestleMania. So, I do think... Oh, that's one... That is one... Oh, yeah, we got Adam Cole. He came up last. That's right. He came out for the Royal Rumble. That's right. I forgot that. Thanks, Davey. But I do see that Lars Sullivan's going to be there for the Royal Rumble for sure. EC3. Lacey Evans will be in there. And so will Nikki Cross. Some surprise males, I think. I think it's going to be Aleister Black or Velveteen Dream. It has to be. They could use any of the males on the roster, but I think the best ones that would really get the crowd going would be that music hitting for Velveteen Dream. Hit it! And then everyone just jumping up to their feet. Or Aleister Black coming out. I really do think. Now, I don't think they'll bring any title holders out for NXT into the... Because they do have a pay-per-view right before Royal Rumble. So I don't know if they will. But I can see us getting some surprises. And some old wrestlers too. I think we had the Godfather come in last year. I do think that we could get Stone Cold will never come back because he's too hurt. But what I'm thinking is I'm hoping we do get some old, some new, some. Yeah. Oh, that's right. He was. I forgot about that. And then or no, he just recently lost it. That was the night he lost it to Aleister Black. No, he lost it that night then, or the night before. I'm almost pretty sure it was. Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe we could see Ciampa because he talks about how he's the greatest competitor of all time, all the time on his Twitter and whatnot. And he really talks about himself as being the greatest performer in sports entertainment. And that would make sense. That would make sense. I'm putting him in the Royal Rumble. Some female competitors that I think could go in. Beth Phoenix, probably. You gotta have the Bella Twins, obviously. I do think. I do too, but it's not gonna happen. I do think we're gonna get the debut of Jessamyn Duke and this other girl. The other girl that's with them, and Shayna Baszler. Or Shayna Baszler. Either one of those. Or we could get one other NXT women's fighter. Oh, he's already back. He was already back with W. He got reinstated by them. I think. Because he was the host of Crown Jewel in Abu Dhabi. So. Or not Abu Dhabi, in, yeah. Oh, what was it? The one over in the place where women aren't allowed. But, yeah. Oh my God, yeah. I would lose it too. But I don't think he'll be number 30. I really don't. If he gets put in. Now, female, I don't know my female wrestlers as well as I do my male wrestlers, but you'd be crying and everything. Hey, I think we all would. Now, female wrestlers I think could be in the Royal Rumble. I don't know. I don't know if you guys have any suggestions, because I do think... Oh my God. Alright, I gotta get off of here. Alright, because I could be talking all day and I've been almost on for an hour. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end this kind of vlog thing, I guess.
What's that smell?